Hello, I'm Barbara, the coral reef. I live in clear and sunny oceans. I'm the hostess of many sea animals. You see fishes, shrimps, starfishes, and more.
Coral reefs are diverse underwater ecosystems held together. They are often called rainforests of the sea, but they cover only 0.1% of the ocean surface.
I and my buddies are the most important part of the ocean. For example, tons of fishes live within my kingdom, and many people enjoy coming to share a good time with us.
Coral reefs are important because they are the world's most productive ecosystems. They provide a home for 25% of all marine species. They services to tourism, fisheries, and coastline protection.
Hey, do you want to hang out?
No, I don't feel well.
What's going on?
Because the water temperature is getting higher. Ouch! Don't step on me! Sandy, where are you going? Hey, Cindy! Melody, no, help!
Potential threat. Sewage discharge. Overfishing. Illegal fishing. Sedimentation. Coral bleaching. Disease outbreaks. Habitat modification. Oil pollution. Typhoons. Inappropriate ecotourism. Ocean acidification. Global warming.
I'm lonely and sick. Someone help!
They want to save the dog of coral reefs named Barbara. Let's give them a big hand.
Hello, I'm Barbara, the coral reef. I live in clear and sunny oceans. I'm the hostess of many sea animals. You see fishes, shrimps, starfishes, and more.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Benjamin. What is on your head?
Oh, this is the doll of coral reefs. Barbara, do you know anything about coral reefs?
Sure, they are large underwater structures composed mostly of the skeletons of corals and partly colored animals and algae. Coral reefs mainly grow in clear,
Warm
shallow,
and sunny.
sea waters. However, they will cover 41% of the ocean surface.
Coral reefs are also called the rainforests of the sea, and they often grow in tropical region ocean.
Coral reefs constitute the most of the biodiverse ecosystem on the planet and house up to 25% of the all marine organisms,
including fishes, mollusks, worms, crustaceans, echinoderms, sponges, tunicates, and others.
I and my buddies are the most important part of the ocean. For example, tons of fishes live within my kingdom, and many people enjoy coming to share a good time with us.
Why are coral reefs so important for us? Do you know why? First, coral reefs help us humans directly, in part by protecting the land from wave impacts and thereby helping to prevent loss of life and property damage. Second, coral reefs provide a sanctuary for countless fish by providing a multitude of hiding places. They also serve as fish nurseries.
Third, they influence how much carbon dioxide is dissolved in the ocean. Carbon dioxide, or CO2, is a considered trace gas in the atmosphere because it is much less abundant than oxygen and nitrogen. However, this trash gas plays a vital in the role sustaining life on Earth and in controlling the Earth climate by trapping heat in the atmosphere.
Do you know how they bubble the wave energy before it reaches the shore? That is why they are called barrier.
Hey, do you want to hang out?
No, I don't feel well.
What's going on?
Because the water temperature is getting higher.
Ouch! Don't step on me! Sandy, where are you going? Hey, Cindy! Melody, no! Help!
Oh no! There are so many threats!
Coral reefs have been facing with threats of natural disasters, such as typhoons and El Nino.
In recent decades, there are increasing threats caused by humans. For example, illegal fishing, overfishing, over-coastal development, careless tourism activities. Destructive snorkeling and diving can damage coral reefs.
1/4 of coral reefs worldwide are considered damaged beyond recovery, with another 2/3 are facing dying, especially in Southeast Asia where 95% of reefs are at high damage risk from natural disasters and human threats. Coral reefs are in steep decline.
Furthermore, the influences of ocean acidification and global warming are issues we have to take into consideration for ensuring the sustainability of coral reefs.
In the near future, coral reefs might disappear. Save coral reefs,
Act now.
I'm lonely and sick. Someone help!
Who can help Barbara?
We can! We are your heroes!
What can we do? There are 3 aspects: government, non-profit organization, and individual. First, governments have to make comprehensive environmental policies regarding coral reef conservation in carbon emission and pollution, fishery management, soil and water conservation, coastal areas management and sustainable development, coral reefs protection. For example, establish national parks and wildlife refuges, ecotourism management. Besides making relative policies, the governments have to establish laws and enforce the laws strictly. Here are some ways to save coral reef. First, let's practice safe responsible diving or snorkeling. For example, we must not touch coral reef because some of its components are breakable, particularly the coral themselves. Secondly, let's be volunteer to help preserve local coral reef for future generations. This means we act as a community to ensure that our reefs are not treated by, for instance, polluted water and overfishing.
On that note, we should mention more about water pollution. Never push garbage or human waste in the water. Also, never leave trash on the beach because the garbage and waste exude chemicals that can contaminate the ocean ecosystem. For instance, turtle will eat plastic bags because they look like their prey. Jellyfish consequently suffocate.
Agricultural pollutants are likely a bigger concern to reefs than bargains. Pesticides and fertilizer enter the ocean in vast quantities in many parts of the world and can either directly kill corals or cause blooms of algae that can kill corals. Even farms many kilometers from the ocean pollute reefs due to river or stream runoff.
Although it's not a big trouble in Taiwan, we should not fish with explosives. This has caused the devastation of reefs across Philippines and Indonesia. Not only are the fish killed, but the reef structure itself destroyed in the process. Do your part by ensuring to eat fish that are caught in an environmentally sustainable fashion.
Related to this topic, a verse in the Quran says, Zohara fasadu fil barri wal bahri bima kasabat aydin nasi liyuziqahum ba'dal ladzi amilu la'allahum yarji'un, which means corruption has appeared throughout the land and sea by reason of what the hands of people have earned.
So he may let them taste part of the consequence of what they have done. Then perhaps they will return to righteousness. So we must save the coral reef, because if we don't do it, God will be greatly disappointed in us for having been poor stewards of the earth. 3, 2, 1. Let's save coral reef! Bow.
Following the presentation, we will now move into a quick Q&A session.
They provide a home for 35% of all marine species. They serve to tourism, fisheries, and coastline protection.
Hey, do you want to hang out? No, I don't feel well. What's going on? Because the water temperature is getting higher. Ouch! Don't step on me! Sandy, where are you going? Hey, Cindy! Melody! No! Help! Sewage discharge. Overfishing, illegal fishing. Sedimentation. Coral bleaching. Disease outbreaks. Habitat modification. Oil pollution. Typhoons. Inappropriate ecotourism. Ocean acidification. Global warming. I'm lonely and sick. Someone help!
Nusa